I'm gon' ride, we gon' ride, who gon' slide, we gon' slide, they my guys, they my slimes.
Clip up the ride out.
I'm gon' ride, we gon' ride, who gon' slide, we gon' slide, they my guys, they my slimes.
All out when we ride out.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is, did Manny Pacquiao disrespect Yordenis Ugas, as G named him? All right, go ahead, G. Fill us in.
All right. So this is actually according to an interview that Manny Pacquiao did with The Athletic. And so the article's titled Exclusive. Manny Pacquiao says he's not closing his mind on continuing boxing career. So it says, quote, "In my entire career, Ugas was one of the easiest opponents," Pacquiao told The Athletic in an interview at the dinner table of one of his Los Angeles homes. Ugas only had one style, and I should have been able to easily move away. You've seen how I have moved in the fights before. I couldn't move in this fight. My legs just stopped." So, end quote. So the question is, did Pacquiao disrespect Ugas with that explanation on the fight?
All right, turn over to you, G. Do you think he disrespected him?
My answer is hell to the yes. And here's why. Like, he made it seem like Ugas is just an ordinary opponent. Like he's not elite level. Ugas is an elite level fighter. You know what I'm saying? And when he loses, it's always to a controversial decision. It's not like Ugas came to that fight to lose. He wasn't like an Uber driver or nothing. So I kind of felt like Pacquiao, although I could rock with Pacquiao's reasoning, I don't like the excuses, right? Like, I'm the one who said, I predict Ugas is going to win because Father Time has to creep up sometimes. And inactivity is horrible for a guy, 40 plus. So, but Pacquiao, the way he's talking, is like, yo, man, this dude's just a basic fighter. My legs just stopped working. That's the only reason why I lost. And it's just like, what?
He called him a BB, basic boxer. All right, go ahead.
That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? like a basic
basic boxer. Basic boxer. That's what they call it.
And I get it. I'm pretty sure the world wanted Pacquiao, if anything, to lose. Let it be to Spence or even a Crawford or something, right? But nonetheless, I kind of felt like Pacquiao should have been the better man. He's been a legend for so long. I don't think people even cared about his excuse to keep on it. I think Pacquiao fans are going to rock with him regardless. So all you had to say was like, you know what? The better man won. I want to run back. Let me get this rematch. He didn't have to call this dude ordinary, basic, all of that good stuff, man. Just give Ugas his flowers and be like, yo, let me get that rematch, player. And I know for a fact Ugas obviously will give him the rematch. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ugas had a messed up bicep. And on top of that, the pay-per-views weren't as great. But with a rematch, now people are going to want to pay for this because they're like, yo, can Pacquiao actually beat this dude? So then I think the numbers will at least go to, I'll say 350,000 pay-per-view buys. So Ugas and Al Heyman are going to definitely want that rematch. So that's all you had to say. You didn't have to discredit Ugas in any way. And that's why I felt like it was disrespect. If you're going to come up with an excuse on why you lost, man, like, keep it to yourself. Don't violate the man in the process.
Dollar Bill.
I'm on the fence with this, right? Because sometimes I can see where you're coming from, G, but I also seen Pacquiao give him the utmost respect. And this was just like a interview when he was asking to assess himself and what he thought he can do.
Ugas was my easiest opponent.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, I get that. I get that. I get all that. You know what I'm saying? It's where he's just assessing himself. He's assessing. This is different. He gave him the respect of when you won. This was your night. The best man won. Now this is after it where he's assessing himself. And he was like, he feels this is the great Manny Pacquiao. He's been in there, like we already said, he's been in there with everybody. So he felt like this guy and his style was easy for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he felt like when he was in there with him, like, this is like a basic step. Why am I not doing what I'm usually able to do? That's what I got from him. Not so much of that he was crapping on him, but so much of like he was saying like I seen everything he was doing. This was a basic style. I know what he was doing. I just couldn't do what I'm normally used to doing. In that form of him saying that, it did sound like he was crapping on Ugas, you know. But I don't think Manny Pacquiao was taking it that way because in the same breath he was giving him his props. I remember him saying that he fought a good fight, you know, and he's basically putting it on him, you know. It could be taken that way, you know. Everybody's, sensitive sometimes, you know, and maybe Ugas, and if they have the rematch, can use what Manny Pacquiao is saying so he can work on some things.
Oh, I forgot to add. Leonard Ellaby did say he doesn't believe that Pacquiao said that. He believes that the Athletic put words in his mouth. So
yeah, see that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you gotta look at it. Because when I seen Pacquiao giving Ugas nothing but respect. But then the interview I seen with him assessing himself, he was saying like his legs just wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like he's seen things and wish he could have reacted to things, but his legs he just couldn't do it. You know, so I don't think it's so much of disrespect. I think it's just more of Pacquiao assessing himself and where he's been in the ring with before and knowing who he is. You know what I'm saying? So I think Manny Pacquiao can get a pass on this. The only time I ever criticized Manny was with the Floyd shoulder thing. I just thought his timing of it was wrong. And then his timing of it was bad because then that stopped a rematch. Yeah, he could have waited until the rematch was already and then mention that. You know what I'm saying? But right after that and not giving Floyd his just due, like, hey, you got that and going straight to the shoulder thing. That's the only time where I was on that. But this ain't to me, this is not the time where I'll be like, because I'm always about keep the same energy. And I don't think this is one of those energy times. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he was full out making excuses and disrespecting Ugas because of that. You know what I'm saying? Not at all.
So let me just read Leonard Elby's response. Manny doesn't talk like that. If
Yeah.
they fought, it would be way worse, in my opinion. Ugas is a very good fighter who's extremely hungry. Plus, his style is all bad for Manny Pacquiao. These thirsty people need to leave him alone. He's had an incredible career. Ugas only had 11 days to prepare as well. So, just wanted to add that in the conversation.
All right, never TBE.
All right, so now since it's if Manny Pacquiao said this, I don't respect it at all. I don't like when fighters try to discredit their opponents after they took a loss. Instead, I like you to stand up and take accountability for you losing and try to bounce back after that. But if he didn't say it, Manny Pacquiao's a stand-up guy. He always respects his opponents, except for certain matches. But this right here, I don't really can't speak on if it's he said, she said, or if it's not really. If Manny Pacquiao didn't really speak this out, say this on camera, I can't really come at Manny Pacquiao. And this says just, I just don't like when fighters really sit there and try to throw their opponents under the bus or try to come up with a million excuses for losing.
We talked about this on another segment about like clickbait and possibly misquoting a fighter, and because the article was misleading. In this article by The Athletic, they say that like they were sitting down with him and he directly said this comment. So one, if this isn't true, it's very terrible that The Athletic would say that like it's a direct quote from someone who was at the dinner table with him who actually heard him say it. Because now you're like literally putting words in someone's mouth. And not only that, you're putting words in someone's mouth that can tarnish their career. And you also look at like libel and all types of issues. But with that being said, if he said it, to me, it's not the worst thing in the world. The first thing I want to highlight is English is Manny Pacquiao's second language. So when you're trying to find the words to say and you're responding to something, when he says it's his easiest fight, right? He immediately elaborates on that point. He had one style. He said it was his easiest fight because he had one style. Never said Ugas was a bad fighter. Never said Ugas was terrible. Never said he wasn't talented. He just said it was his easiest fight because he had one style. Like Trill pointed out, he fought Juan Manuel Marquez, very talented fighter, can adjust, can adapt. He fought Floyd Mayweather, arguably the best ever, at least of his generation, or whatever you want to rate. I'm not here to get into these arguments with people about who's the best. He fought Miguel Cotto, another great of his time. Manny Pacquiao has been in there with so many great fighters who can adjust, who can bring different things to the table. So when he says it was one of my easiest fights, he only had one style. Is he comparing him to those Hall of Famers, those legends of the game? Because if he is, then like, what can you say? Is Ugas a Hall of Famer? No. All those guys I just named to you are Hall of Famers. Juan Manuel Marquez is in the Hall of Fame yet, but I mean, I'm not sure if Miguel Cotto's in there yet, but you already know it's just a matter of time. These guys are going to get in. So what he's saying about Ugas, I see it. We discussed this. Normally, the Manny Pacquiao we saw would have utilized better head movement to neutralize that right hand. And not only would he have used head movement, he would have countered. And so he wasn't doing that. He was relegated to just trying to block it by putting his hand up and actually taking the punch. And when I saw that, I'm saying like, dude, his legs must really be shot. So he's saying his legs cramping. Maybe it was forward time and he just doesn't want to accept it. And he thinks, well, if I go in there and my legs are better, then I can beat him. Well, Manny, what if you go in there and your legs are never better? What if that's just a sign that your legs are going? But essentially what it sounds like he's saying to me is if he was his normal self, if he was the, at least close to the best version of Manny Pacquiao we've ever seen, he would have been able to beat Ugas. I have no problem with that. Hell, it was a close fight, and he wasn't the Manny Pacquiao we've seen before. So who am I to disagree with that? The point is it disrespectful? And I'm going to say no, because he elaborated on it. If the quote was just, Ugas was one of my easiest fights, I just didn't win because my legs were cramped or whatever, then I would be like, come on, man, you get to do some love. He said, like, because he only fought one style. And if you're being real, he did only fight one style. Because why would he not? It's your job to make him fight a different style, man, and you didn't do it. So, yeah, he might have 100 styles. You couldn't get past the one he was using. So he would have been a fool to just switch it up for no reason. So, maybe Manny's underestimated Ugas in that aspect of it. But I don't think it's necessarily disrespect. I think you got a fighter who lost. He was asked a question, he answered the question, and then people are looking for reasons to blow it out of proportion.
Well, I'm going to say this. Now I want to see the rematch. So I'm with Trill on this one now. I want to see the rematch because of the disrespect.
Retire. The legs might not come back, man.
When we sacrificed the goat, we didn't sacrifice enough goats.
Let us know how you
goats to become the goat. You feel me?
You said two goats. You say because Manny Pacquiao is a big deal, so you probably needed two.
You need more than one.
G's pulling me in. G's pulling me in.
Don't let G wrap you in. I'm not getting involved with it.
Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. Please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros. G is a bad influence. I'm out.
You're welcome. You're all welcome.